Hello everyone, today we will take quick revision of last class. Okay, first of all we have seen the limitations of first law of thermodynamics. First one was it do not tell about the the direction of heat flow. Second was it do not tell anything about spontaneity, and third limitation was it do not tell us that heat cannot be converted completely into the work. Then we have seen some observations that first one was all natural processes are spontaneous and occurs irreversible. How we had an example of bouncing ball. The ball bounces and then slowly it rests on ground. This is ground. It rests on ground. But this is forward direction. This process occurs naturally, but the reverse of that means the bouncing of ball which is rest at the ground will never happen automatically. That means the natural processes are never reversible, they are irreversible. Okay, then we have seen the second law of thermodynamics. The first one was Kelvin's statement. It states that no process can occur naturally. There is no process in which the sole result is absorption of heat from reservoir and its complete conversion into work. That was stated by Kelvin. And another statement was stated by Clausius. That states that heat never flows spontaneously from cool body to the hotter body. Okay, these were two statements. After that we have seen that the entropy is the new state function which can accommodate these two statements, or these two statements can be expressed in a with the help of single state function, and that state function we have called entropy. Okay, what was entropy? Entropy is the measure of randomness or disorder, or it is the measure of dispersal of energy, right? After that we have seen the definition of entropy. What was the definition of entropy? Definition of entropy was ds is equals to dq reversible upon T for any system. Now entropy do not depend on work because it is the directional, while it depends on heat, right? So the definition was the heat supplied to the system divided by temperature at which the change is occurring. If we are going from state 1 to state 2, then at that time change in entropy can be expressed by integrating between initial and final state. First of all what we do, we find the reversible path between these states. Okay, system when changes from state 1 to state 2, we will find reversible path for that, and we will integrate by that path the dq reversible. That means heat supplied to the system, the infinitesimal amount of heat supplied to the system at each stage divided by temperature at which this transformation is occurring. And for finite change delta S was q reversible upon T. We have seen in this in the last lecture. Now what is we have already seen that entropy change for isothermal expansion. The formula derived was delta S is equals to q reversible upon T, it is equals to minus W equals to nR ln V2 by V1. This was the formula, and for one mole it will be R and ln V2 by V1, right? This was the formula for entropy change for isothermal expansion. Now entropy change for surrounding, what will be the value? delta S surrounding. See, for surrounding, the entropy change will not depend on the path. That means whether the process is reversible or irreversible, the entropy change will have same result. So hence, we can write delta S surrounding equals to Q surrounding. We will not write reversible here. For system, we were writing delta S is equals to Q reversible upon T, but here we can write delta S surrounding equals to Q reversible upon T. This is entropy change for surrounding. Okay, entropy change for surrounding. Here we will not see whether reaction is happening reversibly or irreversibly. It will always be Q surrounding upon T. That means the entropy change for surrounding or extent of energy dispersed of surrounding will depend upon heat absorbed or heat evolved by surrounding during the process, whole process, divided by temperature at which process is going on. Now let's see entropy change for reversible and irreversible processes. Now, first one, irreversible process, and that example is, first one we will see irreversible. It is, let's have free expansion, isothermal free expansion. Yes. Okay. In this case, we already know that for free expansion, first of all, this is isothermal. That means delta T is equals to 0 and delta U will also be 0. How? Delta U is equals to Cv dt. If dt is 0, then du will also be 0. Now, it is free expansion, therefore work done will also be 0. Now delta U is equals to Q plus W first of all, there is work done is 0 here, and delta T is 0, delta U is 0, work done also 0, therefore delta S surrounding. Here we have seen in first law, delta U is equals to Q plus W. It is 0, so Q will equal to 0. If there is a no heat exchange between system and surrounding, therefore surrounding the heat is not absorbed by surrounding or not evolved by surrounding. There mean, and that's why delta S surrounding, we know that Q surrounding upon T. Now there is no heat exchange, therefore it will be 0. Delta S surrounding will be 0 for free expansion. Now we got that delta S surrounding is equals to 0. Now let's see for system. What will be the relation? Delta S for system will be equal to, we know that the expansion is happening, therefore system is going from V1 volume to V2 volume. Volume change is there, therefore there will be increase in volume, therefore will be system will have increase in increased its entropy. Therefore, that change in entropy will be equal to, as we have seen earlier, we have derived for isothermal expansion the entropy change, and that formula was nR ln V2 by V1. This is entropy change for system. Now, the total entropy change, delta S total, will be equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. It will be equal to nR ln V2 by V1, and this will be 0. So delta S total is equal to nR ln V2 by V1 for free expansion, isothermal free expansion. Now let's see. This was irreversible, right? It was spontaneous process. Isothermal free expansion was spontaneous. That means if there is no pressure outside, and therefore there will be expansion and work done will be 0, and that process is spontaneous and it is irreversible. Now let's see reversible isothermal expansion. For reversible isothermal expansion, we have container. This is a gas, and piston is frictionless. This is piston which is frictionless. Piston is frictionless. Now, temperature change is 0. Therefore, delta U will be 0. Change in internal energy 0. And we have to perform isothermal expansion. Pressure is, there is some pressure also. This is P external and this is pressure internal to the system. So, to attain reversible expansion, what we will do, we will adjust the external pressure in such a way that every time P external will be less than P internal by very infinitesimally small amount. That means what will happen at that time, the gas, if external pressure is less than internal pressure, then gas will expand, but if this P external is less than very small amount, therefore volume will increase by very small amount, and in this way we will do the expansion by small steps, and that is nothing but reversible expansion. So in that case, work will be done as there is P external. So work will be done definitely, and that work done will equal to minus P delta phi. We know that, but how this work is happening? Now we have seen that delta U is equal to 0 as temperature change is 0, therefore internal energy change is also 0. Now how the system is doing work, how the system is performing the work, it will just do that, it will to make its internal energy constant, but it has to expel its energy for doing the work, because it is expansion work and work done from system to the surrounding. So therefore, what system will do, it will just absorb some heat from the outside, and that absorbed heat will again, that absorption of heat also reversible, because the whole process is reversible, hence absorption of heat will be also reversible, Q reversible. So in that process, entropy change of the system will be delta S system is equals to Q reversible upon temperature at which this process is going on. Now what about delta S surrounding? Actually, this heat is where from this heat, where does this heat has come? It is came from surrounding only, and hence there is heat change in surrounding also. So there is a decrease in heat by surrounding reversibly again, because the whole process is reversible. So the delta S surrounding will be minus Q reversible because there is a decrease in heat at temperature T. This will be formula for delta S surrounding minus Q reversible upon T during reversible isothermal expansion. Now what will happen? Why we are taking surrounding? Have you noticed that while we are discussing the first law of thermodynamics, we are concentrated only towards system. We are just concerned about system. But now, while dealing with second law, we are seeing the surrounding also. We are seeing the perspective of surrounding also. Here, surrounding is losing its heat. Therefore, the heat is negative. Right. Now, tell me what is about delta S total, that is entropy change of the universe, or delta S total. Delta S total means system plus surrounding, and what is system plus surrounding? It is universe. So then entropy change of universe will be delta S system again plus delta S surrounding, and it will be equal to Q reversible upon T minus Q reversible upon T. That means entropy change, total entropy change will be 0. Entropy change of the universe will be 0 in case of reversible isothermal expansion. So now we can write delta S system plus delta S surrounding is greater than 0. For what? For reversible expansion. Sorry, irreversible expansion. While delta S system plus delta S surrounding will be equal to 0 for reversible expansion. So we can write delta S universe or delta S total is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than for irreversible process and 0 for reversible process. That means the statement can be made that entropy of the universe tends to be maximum, tends to attain maximum. So the second law can also be written another optional statement for second law is entropy change of universe. Entropy of universe is increasing. Entropy of universe increasing continuously. We can write second law in this form also. The entropy of universe increasing continuously. That means, you know that we human beings also don't want so many rules and regulations to follow, right? We want freedom, we want free life. So likewise, our universe also tends to randomness or try to decrease its energy, or try to disperse its energy, or we can say that the system universe try to degrade its energy. Therefore, entropy of universe increases continuously. That's all for today's lecture. We will see in the next lecture what is Clausius inequality. Okay, thanks for watching.